In the Buddhist tradition, we speak of love in terms of true love, in terms of loving kindness, compassion, joy, and equanimity, or non-discrimination, or inclusiveness. In order to really understand compassion, you should understand also the three other elements of true love. The first element of true love is loving kindness, maitri. It has the power to offer happiness. If love cannot offer happiness, it's not true love. Your true love offers you happiness and offer her happiness. It's not the willingness to offer happiness. Because if you don't understand the other person, the more you try to make him happy, the more you make him suffer. So understanding him, understanding her suffering and need before you can practice loving kindness, maitri. In Asia, there is a fruit called durian. Many people crave for it, but for me, I cannot eat it. And then you say, dear Thầy, he worked so hard, he should eat some durian. And then you make me suffer by loving me. So we should understand the other person in order to really make him happy. And that is why understanding is the other word for love, for compassion. And that is why we should ask our partner, darling, do you think I understand you enough? If I don't understand you enough, please help me.
My wife is right there.
So maitri, loving kindness, is not just the willingness to make a person happy, but the capacity to make him or her happy, and that requires compassion, understanding. And understanding requires time in order to look deeply. And then the second element is compassion, which is a karuna. Greek compassion is called mahakaruna. Compassion has the power to remove the pain, the suffering. If your love cannot make the other person suffer less, it's not true love. And you have to understand his suffering, her despair, in order to help him or her suffer less. And that is why you need to have the time to look and to listen. And understanding will create love and happiness. And the practice is that you have to apply that for yourself. You have to apply, you have to be able to offer you happiness and compassion. Do we have enough compassion towards our body, our feeling? Do we know how to handle our body to make it suffer less? Do we know how to handle a feeling so that we can help calm down the feeling or emotion? That is self-love. The capacity to love another person relies entirely on your capacity to love yourself and take care of yourself. That is true with compassion. And the third is joy, mudita. If by loving you make the other person cry every day, that is not true love. So you create joy for yourself and for the other person. And there are many practical ways to create joy without having to go to the market and buy something to offer him or her. Suppose you say you breathe mindfully and you bring your mind home to your body, you become fresh and pleasant, and you go to her and you say, darling, you know something? I'm here for you. How can you love if you are not there? To love means to be there. To be there for the person you love. If you are so busy in your work, if you are so busy making money, and then you have no time for yourself and for your beloved one. And that is why mindful breathing, mindful walking, to bring your mind home to your body and to be relaxed, fresh, and loving, and pronounce a mantra, darling, I am here for you. And that is to bring joy for yourself and for the other person. And when you are truly there and offer your presence to him or to her, you have a chance to acknowledge the presence of the other person as something very precious to you. And that is why you can pronounce the second mantra. Darling, I know you are there and I'm so happy. That is, to be loved means to be recognized as existing. And if you drive your car and you think of everything else except the person sitting next to you, she cannot be happy at all. So while driving, you use your mindfulness, embrace her, and you say, darling, you know something? I know you are there next to me. I am so happy. So there are very simple practice like that, practice of mindfulness that can bring joy. And if he is in the office, you can practice the mantra of your telephone or send him an email with the content, darling, I know you are there and I'm very happy. And that is why creating joy is true love. And the fourth element is inclusiveness. We cannot understand compassion deeply without understanding the fourth aspect of true love. In true love, there is no discrimination anymore between the lover and the beloved one. You cannot say, that is, darling, that is your problem. In true love, your problem is my problem. Your happiness is my happiness. My suffering is your suffering. There is no longer any frontier. Inclusiveness. In true love, happiness and suffering are no longer individual matters. And if you continue to love like that, you begin to embrace all of us into your love. Because these four elements of true love are called the four unlimited mind. There can never be enough. You begin with one person, and then if you follow the path of true love, your heart go open, 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 and you will embrace all of us inside. And that is true love, is the kind of love that can enlarge your heart without stopping. One day the Buddha was holding a glass of a bowl of water in his left hand. He's holding a handful of salt in the right hand, and he poured the salt into the water and he stirred. And he asked the monks, my dear friends, do you think that you can drink that water? It's so salty. But if you throw that amount of water into a big river, it will not make the river salty at all. And thousands of people continue to drink the water in the river. So with someone who has a great heart, a big heart, a lot of compassion, they don't suffer anymore. The things that make other people suffer do not make them suffer. It's like one handful of salt can make salty the bowl of water, but cannot make the whole big river suffer at all. So the 4 Brahma Vihara, the 4 elements of true love are unlimited. Because by loving in that kind of way, one day you will embrace all of us in your heart. You love not only humans, but animals, plants, and minerals. Because minerals, they are alive also. Minerals can suffer. And that is the love recommended by the Buddha. The love without frontier, without discrimination. And the 4th element of true love is inclusiveness. No discrimination whatsoever. Black or white, north or south, rich or poor, are all objects of your love. And when you have that kind of love, you don't suffer anymore. And you are in a situation to help many people. And that is why all of us who want to serve our society, we should cultivate true love. With true love, we are nourished, we are strong enough. And if we know how to build a community of love, a love community, a compassionate community, and then we will be powerful enough to make change in our society.